To know Seattle is to know the undisputed king of hustle, Fantasy A. You've seen his flyers everywhere. Now see him in his own major motion picture. Also the subject of Doomed Planet, the podcast, episode 98. Fantasy A gets a mattress.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fantasy A.
Autistic Seattle rapper Fantasy A suffers trials and tribulations from total creeps as he attempts to become a superstar, and along the way he also finds a mattress to sleep on after being kicked out of his group home. This was awesome. Welcome to our guest, Max.
What's up?
Good to be in touch with the young people who know stuff that I don't. I went to this movie blind. All you said was, this is shot locally and the guy is autistic and he puts posters up everywhere for his band.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so were you prepared for what you saw with this movie?
No, it actually, the complexity of the plot, definitely surprised me. And I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it's really, sort of a no-budget movie, but they dubbed all the audio, so the audio was good and clean. Give me $1 million and I'll give you $1 million mix on a movie. They didn't do that, but it sounded really good. And it's not, I don't think it was shot on film or anything, but it looks really good. Lighting is good and the acting, charming. It's a very absurd, like Dadaist plot, which is hard to explain. Fantasy A lives in a group home, and which is basically an abandoned house that filmmakers found and shot in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the whole mattress, like the symbolism of that, it's kind of like, place to sleep, right? That's a big part of life, and he can't attain that. Director's statement: it's a movie about people on the fringes trying to make art without industry support during an unstable time. I know right when the pandemic started, you and I were wandering around looking at graffiti, and this is a total graffiti-scape. And there's a ton of exterior shots too when they're not in the group home. Mostly shot
Run and
gun.
In downtown.
Yeah.
Or Chinatown. We see South Park. We see Beacon Hill.
Yeah.
Rainier. MLK.
Yeah.
South Seattle.
The location of the Doom Planet podcast headquarters that we are now in Mom's basement.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, what stood out about that? And you saying you weren't familiar with Fantasy A because of his postering? You just found out about the movie?
I definitely saw his postering, and then I found Fantasy A on social media, which got me more interested in actually wanting to go and see the movie.
Yeah. I wrote them a piece of fan mail. Great acting. There's a couple great gore jokes in there and tasteless, gross jokes, which I thought were fun. And then I was like, I did a similar thing about rival cults battling in the streets of Seattle 20 years ago called Doom Planet, of course. And so then they wrote back, wow, thanks so much for your email. We've been blown away by the response to the Beacon screening. So they've sold out. It's a tiny theater, but they've sold it out multiple times, and it's still selling out.
Yeah.
Here in early July. I watched Doom Planet and got out a real kick out of it. I was discussing it with my co-producer, David Lewis, and we were talking about the uncanny synchronicity, where to even begin. David wrote a novel this year, The Golden Basement, that takes place in 1990 during the Seattle Goodwill Games. A major part of the novel is about a cult operating out of a dilapidated motel on Aurora. And of course, we have in Doom Planet, there are scenes of the cult operating on Aurora. And they also do public access TV, in this novel, The Golden Basement. Another part of the plot of the video movie Doomed Planet from 2000. Unrelated to David's novel, we have, just bear with me here, Max. We have a close relationship with Seattle ex-cult leader Reverend Bruce Howard. You may remember him from his public access TV show in the 90s. Do you kids even know what public access TV is?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know who Bruce Howard is.
Okay. Part of the deal with the cable monopolies letting the FCC letting the cable monopolies operate is that they had to provide a local in all the markets they operated in. They had to provide resources for a local TV station where anyone could put on a program. And in Seattle, actually also out on Aurora Avenue was they had I guess it was Comcast had a studio, the 3-camera TV setup and a stage and lighting and stuff. So I will have to look up Bruce Howard. I'm hoping to slip an audio clip of his insanity into this episode. Viva la guerrilla filmmaking. Can you be willing to give us a blurb for the movie? Let's have Max give his blurb first. If you could describe this movie just in a couple sentences, like it was it
was an awesome movie that showed Seattle and was good.
It's almost like I'm sitting with Fantasy A here and not Max.
No, I think Fantasy A would have more to say than that, I think.
Oh, dear. Damn quote for the movie. Okay, so my blurb that I wrote for the filmmakers, that would be David Norman Lewis and Noah Zoltan Sofian. Forgive me if I pronounce that wrong. They are the co-director, writer, editor, and producers. And they have an amazing, charming cast and great sound design cinematographer, Noah and Ryan Kutuli. They had some digital special effects. Anyway, my blurb is, Fantasy A Gets a Mattress is a charming guerrilla horror comedy that, like any great art, creates an oddball mood. Do you understand that about like cinema and even a painting? Like everything in design to get you to feel a certain way or to react. Okay, I'm back after that brief intermission. Max has dropped off. I don't blame him. No one wants to do a podcast with their dad, even if they're discussing something very cool like this movie. Go to drcleanproductions.com to find out more about Fantasy A, the movie, the Golden Basement, the novel about cults. There's a section on graffiti, and again, this is what grabbed me with this film. There are so many shots of Fantasy A putting up posters, people tearing down posters everywhere with spray painted graffiti in the background. That is the mood and like the world that they create, which is based on reality. Obviously, they're out shooting on the streets of Seattle. On their website at Dr. Clean, they have all the times that Fantasy A's own poster has been tagged. There's multiple posters, actually. Again, go see the movie. It's hard for me to explain what the heck is going on. And again, great acting, great cast, very funny. Don't have time to get into it. Go see the movie. This one Fantasy A poster, it's him holding out a big mattress. And the mattress, this white mattress is a clean slate that encourages taggers to add their own graffiti to the poster. Now, there's something. And then at the post-screening, again, they've had multiple sold-out screenings. At the post-screening Q&A, they were talking about, we raised awareness for this movie from postering, because it's the real fucking world and not just internet bullshit. And real people are walking around interacting with a real physical thing. So good on them. Great movie. Thrilled. And this has been Doomed Planet, the podcast. I think Max was out all night celebrating graduating from the 11th grade and not up for this. My brain is not working properly, but I hope I did justice to this awesome little bit of Seattle history and guerrilla filmmaking and a celebration of art. Goodbye.
That's it, y'all. I'm done being nice and letting my whole city push me around. From now on, the A in my name stands for Fancy Ass.
Nothing to hold us back. We're coming closer, straight to the top. Closer and closer. Don't try to stop us now. We're like a bulldozer, straight to the top. Closer and closer. Now you see our capability.
Fantasy A gets a mattress.
5, 6, 7, 8. Goodbye. This is the end of the song.
Oops, one more goddamn Easter egg here. Fantasy A gets a Mattress Film Festival Fund. You can find that on GoFundMe. If you want to contribute to that. I have some free advice for these youngsters, these filmmakers and artists and actors. Fuck film festivals. There's about 4 or 5 film festivals that matter in the industry. And getting into one of those or winning one of those is like winning the Super Bowl. Everyone on the planet wants to be a filmmaker, especially a lot of rich people who are going to throw money at something that might get further than your own project. So I think doing the screenings at this tiny theater in Seattle, that's the way. And then get on the streaming services. At the very least, YouTube, that'll be easy, but it's not that hard to get on Amazon Prime and Netflix if you have a little bit of technical knowledge or someone that does who can help you. I know they need closed captioning that's required and stuff like that and the different video codecs and stuff, but you can figure that out. Okay, again, goodbye. I'm going to sleep.
Fantasy A.